You've been scrolling for 2 hours. Videos, posts, messages, notifications, all blurring together. And when you finally put the phone down, you don't feel entertained. You don't feel informed. You feel nothing. Empty. Numb. Like you just wasted time, but couldn't stop yourself. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not alone. What you're experiencing has a name, and once you understand why it happens, you can actually do something about it. This is the Overstimulation Shutdown. Here's what it looks like. You open your phone to check one thing, a text maybe, or the weather. And 3 hours later, you're still there, switching between apps, watching videos you don't care about, reading captions you won't remember. And the whole time, there's this background hum of guilt, because you know you're wasting time. You know you have things to do, but you can't seem to stop. So you keep scrolling, and with every swipe, every autoplay, every notification, you feel a little less. By the time you finally close the app, you don't feel rested, you don't feel inspired, you feel drained, like you just ran a marathon but you never left the couch. And here's the strangest part. Even though you consumed so much, dozens of videos, hundreds of posts, you can't remember a single thing that actually mattered. It all just disappeared, like pouring water into a cup with no bottom. You're not bored, you're not understimulated, you're overloaded, and your brain has quietly shut down. So why does this happen? There's a psychological process behind this. 2, actually, and once you see them, the whole pattern makes sense. The first is called sensory adaptation. Your brain is incredibly efficient. When it receives the same type of stimulus over and over, whether that's sound, light, or in this case, rapid-fire content, it stops processing it meaningfully. It's the same reason you stop noticing the hum of the refrigerator after a few minutes. Your brain filters it out to conserve energy. But when you're scrolling, when you're feeding your brain an endless stream of content, it can't filter fast enough. So it does the only thing it can. It numbs. It stops registering emotional impact, stops forming memories, stops feeling anything at all. That's the shutdown. The second process is decision fatigue. Every piece of content you consume requires a micro-decision. Do I keep watching? Do I skip? Do I click? Do I care? Hundreds of tiny choices stacking up one after another, and your brain, already overloaded from trying to process the content itself, runs out of fuel. That's why after a long scroll session, even simple decisions feel impossible. What do I want for dinner? Should I respond to that text? Do I have the energy to get up? You're not lazy. You're mentally exhausted from decisions you didn't even realize you were making. And here's the paradox. We think consuming content is rest. We think it's a break from the hard work of life, but your brain experiences it as labor, constant input, constant decision-making, constant stimulation. No wonder you feel nothing. So how do you break this cycle? Not with a full digital detox or some extreme 30-day challenge, just 3 small resets that actually work. Step 1, the single source window. Here's the rule: 1 piece of content at a time, fully. No tabs, no split screens, no quick checks while a video plays in the background. If you're watching something, watch it. If you're reading something, read it. Give your brain permission to process 1 thing instead of 50. This isn't about consuming less, it's about consuming intentionally. You'll be surprised how much more you remember, how much more you actually feel. Step 2, the silence reset. After any scroll session longer than 20 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes of nothing. No music, no podcast, no new input. Just sit, look out a window, stare at the wall if you have to. It sounds uncomfortable because it is at first, but this is how your brain clears the backlog. This is where it processes what just happened. This is where feeling returns. Think of it like letting muddy water settle. The clarity doesn't come from adding more, it comes from stopping. Step 3, the hourly anchor. Pick one small physical action you do once an hour when you're on your phone. Maybe you stand up and stretch. Maybe you drink water. Maybe you look at something across the room for 10 seconds. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it interrupts the loop. It reminds your brain, I'm here. I'm choosing this. I can stop. Because the shutdown doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, invisible. But these tiny breaks, they wake you back up before the numbness sets in. Now, these 3 steps will help you reset when overstimulation hits. But here's the thing. Once the noise clears, you still need to know where to direct your energy. That's why I created the Clarity Compass, a simple step-by-step framework that helps you cut through the confusion and identify what actually matters in your life right now. It's not another productivity system, it's a tool for getting honest with yourself about what deserves your focus. You'll find the link in the description. It's designed to work alongside everything we just covered. Here's what life looks like when you protect your attention. You still consume content, you still scroll sometimes, but you feel it again. You remember the video that made you think, the song that stayed with you, the idea that actually shifted something. You're not drowning in input anymore. You're choosing, processing, experiencing. And that emptiness, that numb, guilty feeling fades because you're not overstimulated anymore. You're just awake. If this helped, subscribe for more psychology that actually makes sense. And drop a comment. What's one thing you're going to try first? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.